A former slot floor manager just revealed something that casino executives tried to keep internal, and it could help you stretch $20 into hours of play with actual winning chances. Her name is Rebecca, and she spent 11 years managing slot operations at 3 major Las Vegas properties before leaving the industry in 2022. What she shared with us about low-budget slot machines will fundamentally change how you approach casino gambling. Here's what most players don't understand. Playing low-budget slots the wrong way burns through money in minutes, but the right machines offer a legitimate shot at profits. Rebecca explained that casinos actively bury certain machines in back corners or deliberately don't advertise them because they want you on the high-limit games where the house edge is substantially higher. We're going to share 9 low-budget slot machines that casino insiders actually respect, and we're listing them from good to best. These are machines that former employees sought out during their own breaks, machines that internal casino reports flagged as having uncomfortably high player win rates, and machines that corporate offices are systematically removing from floors across the country. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly which games offer genuine value and why casinos are working so hard to make them disappear. Machine number 1. Wheel of Fortune Quarter Classic. This is the original quarter-denomination Wheel of Fortune, not the newer video versions that dominate casino floors today. According to former slot technicians who maintain these machines for years, the Quarter Classic version runs at approximately 92 to 94% return to player. That might not sound dramatically different from other slots, but here's what makes it exceptional. The base game hits frequently, roughly every 8 to 12 spins on average. Rebecca told us about a player named Maria, a retired teacher whose activity she tracked through the casino's internal player monitoring system. Maria would arrive with $40, play the quarter Wheel of Fortune for 6 hours, and cash out $340. This wasn't a one-time occurrence. Rebecca reviewed Maria's player tracking data over an 18-month period and found this pattern repeated consistently. What makes this machine genuinely player-friendly is its lower volatility, which means your bankroll lasts substantially longer than high-volatility alternatives. The bonus will triggers roughly once every 150 to 200 spins, a manageable frequency that doesn't require burning through your entire budget chasing a feature that may never come. The minimum bet is 75 cents, 3/4 on the 3-line version, which stretches limited budgets in ways that modern penny slots demanding $2 to $5 per spin simply cannot match. Rebecca explained that casino employees who worked the slot floor called this machine the grinder because it grinds out small consistent wins rather than teasing players with massive jackpots that statistically almost never hit. The psychological element is fascinating too. That wheel spin creates genuine excitement and anticipation, but without the devastating dry spells that characterize machines like Lightning Link or Dragon Link. Former slot attendants told us they would watch players maintain their bankrolls on Wheel of Fortune Quarter Classic for entire shifts, something that's become increasingly rare as casinos have transitioned to higher hold gaming products. But if you think that's good value, wait until you hear about machine number 2. This one is so player-friendly that some casinos actually limit how many they'll put on the floor. Machine number 2, Double Diamond. This is the old-school 3-reel double diamond with a single pay line, and before we tell you why former employees love this machine, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe and let us know in the comments what your go-to low-budget slot machine is. According to internal casino documents that former technicians reviewed, the quarter version of Double Diamond runs at approximately 93 to 95% return to player. The hit frequency is around 15 to 18%, which means you're winning something roughly every 5 to 6 spins on average. What makes this machine remarkably accessible is that you can play for a single quarter per spin. The mechanics are completely transparent. What you see is exactly what you get, no hidden bonus rounds, no complex multi-level progressives, no features that require maximum bets to activate. James, a former slot attendant who worked at a downtown Las Vegas casino for 9 years, revealed something striking. He watched regular players sit at Double Diamond for entire 8-hour shifts on $20 to $30 bankrolls, and they would often leave up $50 to $100. James explained that casinos keep these machines on floors because older players specifically request them, but corporate offices actively discourage adding more Double Diamond units because players stay on them too long per dollar spent. Think about what that means from a casino's perspective. Their internal data shows these machines retain players for extended periods without extracting the revenue that modern slot products generate. The psychological benefit is profound. There are no complex bonus rounds creating false hope. You know exactly where you stand every single spin. Unlike Buffalo Gold, which teases massive bonuses that trigger once every few hundred spins and typically pay disappointing amounts, Double Diamond operates with complete honesty. You're either winning or you're not, and the frequency of small wins maintains your bankroll long enough to hit occasional larger payouts. Former revenue analysts told us that Double Diamond represents an older casino philosophy, one that prioritized player satisfaction and return visits over immediate revenue extraction. That philosophy is systematically being eliminated from modern casino floors. And if you appreciate simple, honest machines, number 3 is going to make you understand why veteran gamblers seek it out specifically. Machine number 3, Blazing Sevens. This is the original Blazing Sevens, not the newer video slot versions that casinos have introduced to capitalize on the brand recognition of this classic game. This distinction matters enormously because the mathematics are completely different. The penny denomination version of classic Blazing Sevens is playable on 20 to 40 lines, which means you can play maximum lines for 20 to 40 cents per spin. According to former slot technicians who maintain these machines across multiple properties, the penny version typically runs at 90 to 92% return to player based on internal performance reports they reviewed during their years servicing casino floors. Marcus, a former pit boss who spent 14 years in casino operations before leaving the industry in 2021, revealed something remarkable about this machine. When casino employees took their breaks, surveillance reviews showed they gravitated toward Blazing Sevens with surprising consistency. Marcus explained that management actually discussed this pattern in internal meetings because the optics of staff playing certain machines over others sent an unintended message about which games offered genuine value. The hit frequency on Blazing Sevens is approximately 25 to 30%, which means you're winning something roughly every 3 to 4 spins on average. That might seem like small wins, and often they are, but here's what former casino analysts discovered when they reviewed player tracking data. Players regularly stretched $20 buy-ins into 2 to 3 hour sessions on this machine. One documented case involved a player named Robert, a retired mechanic whose loyalty program activity a former casino analyst reviewed. Over a 6-month period, Robert's preferred game was Blazing Sevens penny denomination. On a Friday evening session in March 2019, he bought in with $25 and cashed out $480 after approximately 4 hours of play. This wasn't an isolated incident in Robert's tracking history. The analyst found that Robert maintained overall profitability on Blazing Sevens across dozens of sessions, something internal reports flagged as statistically improbable and worth monitoring. Former revenue managers explained that casinos tolerate penny slot sections like this because they need bodies on the floor creating atmosphere. High-limit rooms and table games generate the serious revenue, but empty casino floors discourage potential players from entering. Penny slots serve a specific business function, keeping the property feeling active and exciting. What corporate executives discovered, though, is that certain penny games like Blazing Sevens hold substantially less money than modern penny video slots that require larger per-spin wagers to activate features. The psychological honesty of Blazing Sevens sets it apart from machines designed with what former game designers call losses disguised as wins. On many modern penny slots, you'll bet 50 cents, win 30 cents, and the machine celebrates with flashing lights and triumphant sounds despite the fact that you just lost 20 cents. Blazing Sevens doesn't play these psychological games. When you win, you genuinely win. When you lose, the machine doesn't pretend otherwise. Sarah, a former casino host who worked directly with high-value players but also observed regular casino traffic patterns, revealed that she noticed something over her 8 years in that role. The players who consistently returned month after month, year after year, often played simple games like Blazing Sevens rather than the flashy new video slots that casinos heavily marketed. These weren't high rollers. They were retirees, local regulars, people treating the casino as entertainment rather than investment. Sarah explained that she eventually understood why. These players had figured out through experience which machines offered sustainable entertainment value for limited budgets. A curious thing former employees noted is that penny slot sections actually feature better average return-to-player percentages than dollar-denomination slots in many cases. This seems counterintuitive. You'd assume higher denomination games would offer better returns. But former revenue managers explained the business logic. Casinos make their money on penny slots through volume, hundreds of players each betting relatively small amounts per spin but generating enormous collective revenue. Dollar slots attract fewer players, so casinos compensate with higher hold percentages per machine to hit revenue targets. But here's where it gets even better. Machine number 4 actually has casino executives specifically instructing floor managers about placement strategies because when players find it, they stay on it for hours. Machine number 4, Triple Red Hot 777. This is a quarter and dollar denomination classic 3-reel game with a straightforward multiplier system, And what makes this machine extraordinary isn't just its mathematics but the documented internal communications about how casinos should handle it. Daniel, a former slot floor manager who worked at 2 major casino properties in Reno before transitioning out of the industry, shared something that casino corporations desperately don't want becoming public knowledge. In 2018 he received an internal memo from his regional director specifically addressing triple red hot 777 machines. The memo instructed floor managers to place these machines in what the document called lower traffic positions because dwell time exceeds target metrics by 40%. Let that sink in for a moment. Dwell time is casino industry terminology for how long players stay on a particular machine. Corporate executives were explicitly directing properties to hide these machines in less visible areas because players who found them stayed too long. According to former slot technicians who maintain detailed service records, the quarter version of triple red hot 777 runs at approximately 94 to 96% return to player. The hit frequency is around 20%, meaning wins occur roughly every 5 spins on average. The top jackpot, 3 red 7s, hits approximately once every 800 to 1200 spins on quarter denomination according to statistical modeling that former analysts performed using years of actual machine performance data. Jennifer, a former casino analyst who spent 6 years in that role before leaving in 2020, explained that internal player tracking data revealed something casino executives found deeply problematic. Players on triple red hot 777 averaged 3.2-hour sessions on $40 buy-ins. Jennifer described this session length as unacceptably long from corporate perspectives that measure success by revenue extraction per square foot of casino floor space per hour. She provided specific documentation of a player named Linda, a casino regular whose loyalty program activity Jennifer tracked as part of her analytical responsibilities. Over a 3-month period, Linda played 23 documented sessions on triple red hot 777. She bought in for $50 each session. Linda cashed out positive 18 times, a 78% profitable session rate that Jennifer described as should be statistically impossible given house edge mathematics. Linda's net result over those 23 sessions was positive $3,840. Jennifer explained that when players like Linda appeared in internal reports with these kinds of results, management discussions focused on whether these individuals were advantaged players exploiting some system vulnerability or whether the machines themselves were performing outside acceptable parameters. In Linda's case, analysis determined she was simply a recreational player who'd found a favorable game and stuck with it. Corporate response wasn't to congratulate Linda on her success. It was to question why triple red hot 777 machines remained on the floor. Brian, a former slot attendant who worked at a locals casino in Las Vegas for 7 years, revealed something that speaks to how some casino employees viewed their own industry. Brian said he would quietly inform regular players he recognized when triple red hot 777 machines were being serviced or moved to new floor locations. He did this, he explained, because he felt guilty directing casual players to the higher hold machines that corporate offices preferred. The honest math of triple red hot 777 stands in stark contrast to games like Pinball or Lightning Link that promise huge progressive jackpots but maintain those progressives by holding substantially more money from base gameplay. Triple red hot 777 pays medium wins consistently. The 3 times, 6 times, and 9 times multipliers hit regularly enough to maintain bankrolls while you wait for larger payouts. Former game designers explained that this represents a fundamentally different design philosophy, one that's largely disappeared from modern slot manufacturing. Now you might be thinking these are all old-school mechanical-style games, but machine number 5 is going to surprise you because it's actually a modern video slot, and here's why former employees call it the unicorn. Machine number 5, Quick Hit Platinum. This is a modern video slot that fundamentally bucks every trend that's come to define contemporary casino gaming, and the story of why former employees call it the unicorn reveals just how dramatically the industry has shifted away from player-friendly design. Christina, a former slot director who managed gaming floors at 4 different properties across a 12-year career before leaving the industry in 2023, explained that Quick Hit Platinum earned its unicorn designation because it represents something that's become extraordinarily rare: a contemporary video slot with genuinely player-friendly mathematics. The penny version featuring 30 to 40 lines runs at approximately 91 to 93% return to player according to internal performance documentation that former technicians reviewed during years of servicing these machines. You can play 40 lines for 40 to 80 cents per spin depending on the specific cabinet configuration, and the base game hits approximately every 4 to 6 spins. The free game's bonus triggers roughly once every 120 to 180 spins, a frequency that doesn't require burning through your entire bankroll chasing a feature that may never materialize. What makes Quick Hit Platinum particularly interesting from an insider perspective is the corporate tension it created. Christina shared that she sat in multiple regional management meetings where financial analysts expressed frustration with what they described as suboptimal hold percentages on the Quick Hit series. Yet player retention data told a different story. Properties with Quick Hit machines saw measurably higher return visit rates from the players who gravitated toward these games. Christina explained that this created genuine internal debate about whether short-term revenue extraction or long-term player loyalty should drive machine selection decisions. And in most modern casino corporations, the short-term revenue perspective wins almost every time. A player named Frank became something of a legend in the internal reports that Michelle, a former casino host, reviewed during her 9 years working directly with player accounts. Frank was a construction worker who visited the casino 47 times over a 6-month period in 2019. His player tracking data showed remarkable consistency. He played exclusively Quick Hit Platinum, buying in with $30 to $50 each visit, and he left positive 31 times. That's a 66% profitable session rate maintained across nearly 50 sessions. Michelle explained that when players like Frank appeared in weekly performance reports with these kinds of results, it triggered management discussions about whether the games themselves needed replacement. The bonus structure of Quick Hit Platinum operates with an honesty that former game designers say reflects an older development philosophy. Kevin, who spent 8 years designing slot machines for a major manufacturer before transitioning to a different industry, explained that Quick Hit was created during an era when gaming companies genuinely believed player satisfaction drove long-term casino profitability. The free games feature typically returns 20 to 60 times your total bet, modest but realistic returns that don't promise impossible riches while delivering often enough to maintain engagement. Compare this to the lightning link progressives that burn through hundreds of dollars while players chase mini and major jackpots that trigger far less frequently than the excitement suggests they should. Quick Hit doesn't dangle impossible carrots. It pays small to medium wins consistently enough that recreational players with limited budgets can sustain multi-hour sessions without devastating losses. Michelle revealed something that speaks to how casino corporations now view gaming products. In 2020, she attended a presentation where a vice president described Quick Hit Platinum as an acceptable loss leader. The term loss leader comes from retail, describing products sold at minimal profit to attract customers who then purchase higher margin items. Casino executives had adopted this framework for slot machines, tolerating games like Quick Hit because players eventually transitioned to higher hold games elsewhere on the floor. The strategic accessibility of Quick Hit Platinum matters too. Unlike some rare classic machines that exist only in specific locations, Quick Hit appears in most major casinos. Former slot directors explain this ubiquity reflects its popularity with a broad player demographic, but also creates a problem for casino corporations seeking to maximize revenue per square foot. Amanda, a former casino analyst who spent 7 years reviewing gaming performance data, shared documentation showing that Quick Hit machines consistently appeared in internal reports flagged with yellow indicators, meaning they performed below corporate revenue targets while remaining acceptable enough to justify floor space. Amanda explained that yellow flag machines face constant re-evaluation, and properties slowly reduce their numbers through attrition, replacing them when cabinets require major service or when floor reconfigurations provide opportunities to introduce higher hold alternatives. And speaking of modern machines that surprise you, machine number 6 actually has a controversial history. Some casinos tried to remove it after internal data showed something casino executives found genuinely alarming. Machine number 6, Buffalo Stampede. This is absolutely critical to understand. We're talking about Buffalo Stampede, not Buffalo Gold. These are completely different games with fundamentally different mathematics, and the distinction matters enormously. Nicole, a former marketing manager who worked in casino operations for 11 years before leaving in 2021, revealed that casinos intentionally place Buffalo Gold and Buffalo Stampede machines near each other to create confusion. They actively want players on Buffalo Gold, which holds substantially more money, but Buffalo Stampede remains on floors because the Buffalo brand carries such powerful player loyalty that removing all variants would alienate dedicated customers. The quarter version of Buffalo Stampede runs at approximately 92 to 94% return to player according to documentation that former slot technicians reviewed across multiple properties. The penny version with 40 to 50 lines allows you to play for 40 to 50 cents per spin on minimum denomination. The free games bonus triggers approximately once every 150 to 200 spins, and the hit frequency in the base game runs around 22 to 25%. Jason, a former data analyst who spent 6 years reviewing casino performance metrics, shared something that casino executives found deeply problematic. Internal reports from 2018 showed that Buffalo Stampede players had average session win-loss ratios that were 15 to 20% more favorable than casino targets. Jason explained that this deviation might sound small, but across thousands of player sessions, it represented millions of dollars in reduced revenue compared to what financial models projected. The response wasn't to celebrate a popular game. It was to reduce the number of machines. Documentation that Rachel, a former floor manager, reviewed showed that at least 3 major Las Vegas properties removed 30 to 40% of their Buffalo Stampede units between 2018 and 2019, systematically replacing them with Buffalo Gold and other higher hold variants. Player tracking data that David, a former casino host, accessed during his 8 years in that role, revealed a case study that management found particularly concerning. A player named Patricia played exclusively Buffalo Stampede, deliberately avoiding Buffalo Gold despite casino promotions specifically targeting Buffalo Gold players. Over an 8-month tracking period, Patricia bought in a total of $1,840 across multiple sessions and cashed out $2,290. David explained that Patricia represented a category of informed player that casino corporations increasingly view as problematic. Recreational gamblers who'd educated themselves about which specific games offered better value and stubbornly stuck to those games regardless of marketing pressure to try alternatives. Now we're entering the top 3 machines on this list, and machine number 7 has such a loyal following that one casino actually created a waiting list for it. Machine number 7. Jacks or Better Video Poker. This is specifically the 9-6 full pay version, meaning it pays 9 coins for a full house and 6 coins for a flush when betting maximum coins, and what happened at a downtown Las Vegas property reveals just how dramatically casino attitudes toward this game have shifted. Thomas, a former casino manager who spent 13 years in operations before transitioning out of the industry in 2022, shared documentation of something remarkable. His property maintained an informal waiting list for their bank of full-pay video poker machines. Regular players would actually call ahead on Friday and Saturday evenings to check whether seats were available, and Thomas explained that management recognized these machines generated such fierce player loyalty that removing them would risk losing an entire customer segment to competing properties. The mathematics that casino corporations now consider unacceptable are precisely what make 9-6 jacks or better extraordinary for players. With perfect strategy, this game runs at 99.54% return to player. The house edge is only 0.46%. Gregory, a former casino operations director who worked at 3 major properties across a 15-year career, revealed that he sat in corporate strategy meetings where executives described full-pay video poker as completely unacceptable per modern casino finance standards. Quarter denomination with 5 coins maximum bet means $1.25 per hand, and with even basic strategy rather than perfect play, players achieve approximately 99.2 to 99.3% return to player. The royal flush hits approximately once every 40,000 hands, still rare but mathematically predictable over sufficient play. High pairs, jacks or better, hit approximately 21% of hands. Total winning hand frequency runs approximately 45%. Angela, a former regional slot director, provided data documentation showing the systematic elimination of player-friendly video poker from casino floors across the country. 9-6 jacks or better machines represented 37% of video poker installations in 2005 but declined to less than 8% by 2020 across major casino markets. Angela explained that this wasn't accidental evolution. Corporate directives explicitly instructed properties to phase out full-pay video poker and replace it with what internal documents called more profitable slot product. A player named Thomas, a retired accountant whose tracking data a former casino analyst named Jennifer reviewed, demonstrated exactly why casino executives wanted these machines gone. Over 18 months, Thomas played 156 documented sessions, buying in $60 to $100 per session. He cashed out positive 89 times, a 57% profitable session rate that Jennifer described as exceptional for any casino game. Thomas wasn't counting cards or exploiting some advantage play technique. He'd simply spent 2 afternoons learning basic video poker strategy and applied it consistently. The skill element distinguishes video poker from pure chance slot machines in ways that casino corporations increasingly view as problematic. Robert, a former dealer who spent 9 years working casino floors, explained that basic strategy requires only 2 to 3 hours to learn and dramatically improves results compared to players making decisions based on intuition. Corporate communications that Daniel, a former floor manager, reviewed specifically instructed properties to phase out full-pay video poker within defined timelines and replace it with slot machines where no amount of player skill could overcome house edge. Where these machines still exist tells you everything about current availability. Former employees identified specific locations. Locals casinos in Las Vegas that cater to knowledgeable regulars, older Atlantic City properties that haven't undergone recent corporate renovations, some Native American casinos and Midwest markets that serve player demographics valuing these games. But even in these locations, the trend is unmistakable. Karen, a former video poker specialist who taught strategy classes, explained that $40 bankrolls with basic strategy typically provide 2 to 4 hours of play, sometimes substantially longer. The pay table transparency means players know exactly what each hand pays. There are no hidden algorithms, no variable return to player percentages based on player status or time of day, no corporate decisions to tighten machines during busy periods. What you see on the screen is precisely what you get. Unlike Lightning Link or Dragon Link progressives that burn through money while teasing jackpots, video poker tells you exactly what you need to win and pays it when you hit it. Machine number 8 is going to make you understand why one casino executive reportedly said in an internal meeting that these needed elimination within 24 months. Machine number 8, Bonus Poker Deluxe. The full-pay 8.5 version of this video poker variant has become so rare that finding one feels like discovering archaeological evidence of a previous era in casino gaming, and what a former corporate strategy director revealed about internal discussions surrounding this game exposes just how dramatically casino philosophy has shifted. Stephen, who spent 8 years in corporate casino strategy before leaving the industry in 2020, shared documentation of a 2019 internal meeting where a vice president-level executive specifically identified Bonus Poker Deluxe for removal, describing it as legacy product that doesn't meet current hold standards. The mathematics explain executive hostility perfectly. Full-pay 8.5 Bonus Poker Deluxe delivers 99.64% return to player with perfect strategy. Quarter denomination with 5 coins maximum equals $1.25 per hand, and even with basic rather than perfect strategy, players achieve approximately 99.4% return to player. 4 of a kind hits approximately once every 425 hands, substantially more frequently than jacks or better. Linda, a former video poker instructor who taught strategy to casino customers before corporate decisions eliminated her position, explained that Bonus Poker Deluxe features simpler strategy than jacks or better because all 4 of a kind hands pay identical amounts. This eliminates complex decision-making about which low pairs to hold or whether to break up paying hands to chase straight or flush possibilities. Catherine, a former casino host who spent 9 years working directly with players, revealed that she specifically directed casual recreational players to Bonus Poker Deluxe rather than regular video poker variants because the simplified strategy meant fewer costly mistakes. She described feeling guilty sending recreational players to games where strategy errors could devastate their bankrolls, so she quietly steered people toward the most mistake-proof option available. Corporate management eventually questioned why she wasn't promoting higher hold slot products, and Catherine explained this represented part of why she ultimately left the industry. Player tracking data for someone named Helen demonstrates exactly what made casino executives uncomfortable with this game. A former analyst who reviewed 14 months of Helen's activity found she played 67 sessions, buying in $50 to $75 each time, and left positive 41 sessions. That 61% profitable rate maintained across more than 6 sessions created what the analyst described as management discomfort that bordered on alarm. Internal documentation that Marcus, a former operations manager, reviewed showed coordinated efforts across a major multi-property casino company to remove 75% of Bonus Poker Deluxe machines between 2017 and 2020. The machines didn't malfunction or become unpopular. Corporate finance determined they didn't extract sufficient revenue per square foot of casino floor space, so they disappeared, replaced with slot products engineered for higher hold percentages. Where these machines exist now reveals their endangered status. Older casinos that haven't undergone recent renovations, locals-oriented properties serving knowledgeable player bases, small Nevada casinos operating under different financial models than corporate gaming companies. Predominantly, you find them in casino bars where liquor sales offset gaming revenue and properties use them as loss leaders to attract knowledgeable locals who spend money on food, drinks, and entertainment even while maintaining modest profits on video poker. And now for the number 1 machine on this list. When you hear the return to player percentage, you'll understand exactly why casinos are trying to make it extinct. Machine number 9, 10-7 Double Bonus Poker. The full-pay version of this video poker variant delivers something that modern casino corporations consider an existential threat to their entire business model. A return to player percentage that actually exceeds 100% with perfect strategy. Let that extraordinary fact settle for a moment, because what it means is that skilled players possess mathematical advantage over the house. And Rebecca, a former casino operations executive who spent 14 years in increasingly senior positions before leaving the industry in 2021, revealed internal industry communications that explicitly called for complete phase-out of this game. She described corporate strategy meetings where financial executives set specific deadlines for removing every 10-7 double bonus machine from their properties, treating these games like contamination that needed eradication. The mathematics explain corporate panic perfectly. 10-7 double bonus poker with full pay schedule delivers 100.17% return to player with perfect strategy. This represents genuine positive expectation for skilled players. Quarter denomination with 5 coins maximum equals $1.25 per hand, and even with basic strategy rather than perfect play, players achieve approximately 99.8 to 99.9% return to player. Michael, a former game designer who spent 8 years creating slot machines for a major manufacturer before transitioning to different work, explained that 10-7 double bonus emerged from the 1980s and 90s era when casinos genuinely believed promotional games attracting knowledgeable players would increase overall foot traffic and spending on other amenities. The underlying philosophy held that some customers would play video poker at minimal house edge or even slight player advantage, but those same customers would spend substantially more money on restaurants, shows, hotel rooms, and other casino offerings. Corporate strategy has shifted dramatically. Jonathan, a former regional director who attended dozens of high-level casino strategy meetings, described internal presentations from the 2010s documenting fundamental philosophy changes. The new corporate perspective held that every square foot of casino floor space must maximize hold percentage. The concept of loss leaders or promotional games that attracted customers who spent money elsewhere became viewed as outdated thinking that left revenue on the table. The extreme rarity of 10-7 double bonus poker today reflects this transformation. Anthony, a former slot director who maintained detailed records of machine installations across multiple properties, provided data showing 10-7 double bonus declined from approximately 12% of video poker installations in 2000 to less than 1% by 2020. Some major casino corporations eliminated these machines entirely from every property they operated, treating their removal as financial necessity rather than optional business decision. The phenomenon of video poker hunters emerged specifically around games like this. Patricia, a former casino host who worked extensively with advantage players, described individuals who traveled specifically to find remaining 10-7 double bonus machines, treating them like prospectors searching for gold deposits. These weren't casual recreational gamblers. They were skilled players who'd invested time learning perfect strategy and sought out the few remaining locations where mathematics tilted in their favor. Player tracking data that Thomas, a former analyst, reviewed documented someone named Richard whose 22 months of activity revealed 143 sessions buying in $100 to $150, cashing out positive 91 times. Richard's 64% profitable session rate delivered net positive $3,840 over the tracking period. Thomas explained this represented exactly the scenario modern casino corporations refuse to tolerate: informed players systematically extracting money through skill and game selection rather than losing to house edge like financial models project. The skill requirement deserves honest acknowledgement. David, a former video poker specialist who taught advanced strategy, explained that perfect strategy for double bonus involves complex decision-making and requires genuine memorization and practice. This isn't a game where casual players achieve optimal results through intuition. However, even basic strategy delivers near 100% return to player, meaning recreational players who invest modest effort learning fundamentals can play essentially even with the house over extended sessions. The higher variance compared to jacks or better creates larger bankroll swings. 4 aces pays 800 coins versus 125 in jacks or better, but straight flushes pay less, creating bigger volatility. Former dealers explain this means players experience more dramatic ups and downs, requiring larger bankrolls to withstand negative fluctuations even while long-term mathematics favor the player. Where you might find remaining 10-7 double bonus machines requires insider knowledge because corporate casinos systematically remove them. Former employees identified specific small Nevada casinos, some Native American properties in California and Arizona operating under different financial models, occasional single machines in Las Vegas locals casinos, though specific locations change frequently as properties continue removing units. Verification requires checking pay tables carefully, confirming Full House pays 10 coins and Flush pays 7 coins per coin bet. Now let's understand the bigger picture that these 9 machines represent, because what former casino employees revealed exposes fundamental transformation in how corporations approach gambling. Jessica, a former casino executive who spent 16 years in progressively senior roles, explained that the machines on this list represent what she called a dying breed of player-friendly gaming products. Corporate ownership structures demand higher hold percentages year over year, and machines failing to meet escalating targets face systematic removal regardless of player popularity. The generational divide in game design philosophy becomes evident when you examine creation dates. Most machines on this list emerged when casinos competed on player experience, believing that satisfied customers generated long-term profitability through repeat visits and positive word of mouth. Modern slot design prioritizes immediate revenue extraction, with manufacturers and casinos collaborating to maximize hold percentage through psychological manipulation techniques that earlier generations of game designers considered unethical. Former compliance officers revealed regulatory gaps that enable this transformation. Casinos in most jurisdictions face no legal requirement to disclose return-to-player percentages on slot machines, unlike video poker where pay tables reveal exact mathematics. This asymmetry allows corporations to systematically reduce slot RTP while players remain unaware their odds have deteriorated. Statistical reality requires acknowledgement too. Even these best machines still favor the house over long-term, except for specific video poker variants with perfect play. They simply offer fair chances and budget sustainability compared to modern alternatives engineered for aggressive revenue extraction. The disappearance timeline that former regional managers documented projects most machines on this list will face 85 to 95% elimination from casino floors within 5 to 7 years. Corporate replacement strategies convert low-denomination player-friendly games into penny slots requiring $2 to $5 per spin to activate all features, effectively transforming penny games into dollar games while maintaining the psychological appeal of penny denomination marketing. Understanding these 9 machines requires recognizing how they cluster into distinct categories that reveal the evolution of casino gaming philosophy. The classic 3 real games, Double Diamond and Triple Red Hot 777 and Blazing Sevens, share fundamental characteristics that former game designers explained represented a completely different era in slot development. These machines operate with transparent mechanics where players see exactly what they're getting, no hidden bonus rounds that require specific bet levels to activate, no complex multi-tier progressive systems that obscure the actual mathematics. Modern video slots that made this list, Quick Hit Platinum and Buffalo Stampede and Wheel of Fortune Quarter Classic, demonstrate that player-friendly design can exist in contemporary formats, but former manufacturing executives revealed these games emerged during transitional periods when companies still believed customer satisfaction drove long-term profitability. The video poker category, Jacks or Better and Bonus Poker Deluxe and Double Bonus, operates under fundamentally different principles because pay tables publish exact mathematics that players can verify and no amount of corporate desire to reduce payouts can hide the numbers displayed on screen. Former analysts who spent years reviewing performance data explained what all 9 machines share beyond their favorable return-to-player percentages. They were designed by manufacturers or introduced during periods when casino corporations believed sustainable player satisfaction created profitable long-term customer relationships. This philosophy has been systematically eliminated from modern gaming development, replaced by what former executives described as maximum revenue extraction models that prioritize immediate hold percentage over player retention or satisfaction. The return-to-player comparison between these machines and typical modern slots compounds dramatically over time. These 9 games average approximately 92 to 93% return-to-player, while contemporary slot products that dominate casino floors typically run 85 to 88%. Former casino hosts calculated practical implications using real numbers. A $100 bankroll on a typical modern slot running 86% RTP will last approximately 90 to 120 minutes under normal play conditions, and players should expect to cash out $0 to $20 if they stop during that window. That same $100 on machines from this list with 93% average RTP extends play time to approximately 3 to 5 hours, with realistic cash-out expectations of $60 to $120, assuming players stop during typical session lengths rather than playing until complete depletion. The entertainment value proposition becomes clear when you frame gambling as purchasing entertainment rather than investing money. Jessica, a former casino manager who now works in completely different industry, explained that she eventually came to view slot play as buying hours of entertainment, similar to purchasing movie tickets or concert admission. These 9 machines deliver substantially more entertainment hours per dollar compared to modern alternatives engineered primarily for revenue extraction. Former analysts who tracked thousands of player sessions provided honest statistics about winning expectations, explaining that even on these favorable machines, players should anticipate profitable sessions approximately 40 to 45% of the time compared to 25 to 30% on typical modern slots. The difference seems modest in percentage terms but becomes dramatic across dozens of casino visits. Video poker variants offer additional advantage because basic strategy, learnable in 2 to 3 hours of focused study, improves results for the lifetime of play. Former video poker instructors explain this represents a genuine skill element that slot machines fundamentally lack, and casino corporations increasingly view player skill as problematic because it reduces house edge in ways that financial models find unacceptable. Finding these machines requires understanding general location patterns that former floor managers revealed. Locals casinos in Las Vegas cater to knowledgeable regular customers who would abandon properties that eliminated player-friendly options. Older established properties in Atlantic City and Reno that haven't undergone recent corporate renovations often maintain legacy games that newer casinos never install. Native American casinos in less competitive markets sometimes operate under different financial philosophies than major corporate gaming companies. Casino bars and restaurant areas frequently house lower-performing machines because properties offset gaming revenue through food and beverage sales. Verification methods matter enormously because casino corporations deliberately create confusion between similar games with dramatically different mathematics. Former technicians taught specific confirmation techniques. Check denomination carefully on classic games because identical cabinets sometimes offer different coin values with different return percentages. Read video poker pay tables obsessively looking for specific numbers like 9-6 or 8-5 or 10-7 because single coin differences in flush or full house payouts translate to multiple percentage points in overall return. Verify game titles exactly because Buffalo Stampede and Buffalo Gold sound similar but deliver completely different player experiences. And test hit frequency during initial play because if you're winning something every 4 to 6 spins you've likely found legitimate player-friendly game while dry spells exceeding 20 to 30 spins regularly indicate you're on wrong machine. Bankroll management recommendations from former dealers provide practical guidance. Classic 3-reel slots require minimum $40 bankrolls with $60 to $80 providing comfortable cushion for 2 to 3 hour sessions. Modern video slots like Quick Hit and Buffalo Stampede need minimum $50 with $80 to $100 supporting comfortable 3 to 4 hour play, and video poker demands minimum $60 for quarter play with $100 to $120 recommended for sustained 3 to 4 hour sessions that allow weathering normal variance. If this information from former casino employees helped you understand which low-budget machines actually offer fair chances rather than systematic exploitation, subscribing supports continued exposure of industry practices corporations prefer keeping hidden. Comment below identifying which of these 9 machines you've played, or better yet, share if you've located one of those extraordinarily rare 10-7 double bonus machines because creating crowdsourced databases of remaining locations helps informed players find fair games before corporate removal campaigns eliminate them entirely. Sharing this video with anyone who plays slots literally saves people hundreds of dollars by directing them toward games offering genuine entertainment value rather than aggressive revenue extraction. Future videos will reveal specific casino locations still offering these machines, advanced video poker strategies that maximize returns, and warning signs indicating when casinos are systematically removing player-friendly games from their floors. This community of informed players sharing knowledge casinos try suppressing represents the only effective counter to corporate strategies designed to maximize revenue extraction while minimizing player awareness of deteriorating odds.